Hello everyone! As has been the case every Saturday for a while, we take another dive into the mysterious world of the Forgotten Languages website, exploring its ties with UFOs. Today we are going to explore the issue of fighting an alien hive mind and the surreality of the UFO phenomenon. On the 8th of October 2016, the website posted an article titled "From the Aging Biological Brain onto the Exocortex: Finding the Coalesced Mind." It starts off relatively mildly related to what has been recently hitting the news again, the possibility of ancient microbial life on Mars, as we hear in the following paragraph.
Looking for life forms in exoplanets is not what we aim to. Spending billions of dollars in looking for bacteria out there is not our main concern. Our goal must be to look for conscious beings, life forms that are self-aware. We don't even mind whether those beings are intelligent or not. Intelligence is just a narrow and useless human category. Conscious life forms, that is what we and they are looking for.
On the note related to the disclosure of alien life, the discovery of any life forms, even as simple as unicellular microbes anywhere, including in our solar system, like Mars or Europa, would be a major stepping stone. This would imply that life can be a universal feature of the cosmos and not just an exception existing on the Earth only. And just as the notion is a stepping stone, so was the first paragraph to the rest of the article.
Now that we know that at least 3 plant species show signs of consciousness, it is clear how mistakenly wrong were those who once thought it would have been profoundly mysterious if no neural processes were required for a life form to be endowed with consciousness. Neural processes are just one way to achieve consciousness, perhaps one suitable for mammals, but certainly neither the only one, nor the more efficient.
We are slowly ramping up the build-up here. Indeed, the state-of-the-art science seems to slowly acknowledge the fact that humans may not be as unique as we have thought for a very long time. Sure, our consciousness, self-awareness, and awareness of the world are very much advanced by the standards of our planet, but many animals, or even plants indeed, seem to show behavior which hints at least at certain forms of awareness. Perhaps as well consciousness in the case of more evolved life forms. What comes next?
If consciousness is nothing but awareness of information, then a geminovirus is clearly conscious. By the way, a black hole is also conscious under that poor definition. What consciousness does is more important than what it is. The first time you meet those gazillions, you are totally interested in their technology, their spaceships, their metamaterials, their weapons. The second time, you are more interested in them, in who they are and where they come from. The third time you meet them, you are only interested in their minds, their consciousness. Past that point, you just become one of them, which is exactly what they want.
What a way to ponder about consciousness. Starting from structures which we usually think of as mindless and eventually reaching the drop of Gizelians, the mysterious alien race, who some Forgotten Languages researchers claim to be a stand-in term for extraterrestrials in general. And experiencers claim telepathy in such beings, not to even mention other mind peculiarities, which quite much fill the rest of the English text here.
It doesn't work like that. There were 5 of them, you see. What one of them perceives and senses, it is automatically perceived and sensed by the other 4. We first thought there were some sort of telepathy going on. Now we know we are facing a totally different phenomena, a coalesced mind. Let me explain it like this. There were 5 of those life forms there, but only one mind. It is as if they have one mind created by merging 2 or more previously separate minds. Their separated brains communicate with each other directly, as if they were different parts of the same brain. We interrogated the one captured and denied. When we captured the second one, weeks later, this, too, was interrogated. We realized this second life form knew every piece of information the first one collected from us during the interrogation process. So we concluded that any stored information that one of the minds can consciously access becomes consciously accessible to the other minds as well. They do not have individual brains as we do. They are a collective mind.
In particular, the grey aliens are the race associated with the hive mind phenomenon, although it is also sometimes mentioned in reference to other alien races or species. Could it be that the individual beings, particularly the Greys, who can be some form of artificial intelligence placed in synthetic bodies, could be akin to individual neurons in our own brains, communicating with each other, constituting a greater whole? It is not outside the realm of at least the imagination. After a longer break without any articles that would not repeat what we have already said, we move on to the 8th of December 2016, when the website attempted a look at the component of the alien contact so often mentioned by many who have seen the craft and/or non-human beings. The dreamy-like surreal quality to it. Just like the title, the surreal component of UFO phenomena. So let's dive into the content.
The marvelous is not the same in every period of history. Surrealism, as a movement in which artists unite to protest war by accessing subconscious thoughts, shares a lot with current ufology movements, which are in an urgent need for a cure for what they perceive as the constraining and repressed codes and morals of modern society.
Well, this paragraph touched upon many of the things the veteran UFO researcher Jacques Vallée has mentioned. From the change to how the phenomenon presents itself to us, to the fact that its surreality only amplifies the chameleonic nature of whatever it is, and whatever intelligence is using its trick for the purpose of communicating with us. Dreams, sleep paralysis, the coming to a halt, and surreality are the real hallmarks of so many alien encounters of various kinds. And the next paragraph of the English text says exactly that.
The divide between the conscious and the unconscious worlds can be overcome only in dreams, and once you realize those dreams, you create a surreality. The surreal component of the UFO phenomena is what makes the rationalist to evade the rational analysis of the phenomena, while at the same time it is that surreal component what opens the doors for New Age charlatans and Steve Greerian beings to multiply and contaminate the serious research of the phenomena.
We have a reference to Dr. Stephen Greer, the famous or infamous depending on who we ask, ufologist who promotes the C5 contact technique, in which a human being sends out a mental telepathic message into the cosmos, and at least for many who try, a UFO appears and they are able to quasi-communicate with the intelligence behind the conjured phenomenon. Not that much unlike standard evocation practices, one of the pillars of occult practices throughout the ages. Both carry an element of surreality, and yet both are claimed to be real by quite a substantial number of people if we take a look close enough.
With UFOs, we are dealing with a form of language that exceeds purely rational comprehension and resists any thoroughgoing reductive analysis. Though it would seem this makes UFOs sort of a religious issue, there is a big difference. Angels do not leave tracks in our radars, while UFO do.
Between the recent mentions of aliens being demons, even coming from the Vice President of the United States, to the aforementioned Jacques Vallée equating phenomena like the Fatima apparitions to a possible manifestation of non-human intelligence, and things like visions of Prophet Ezekiel of the Bible and his wheels within wheels considered to be angels, it is not that difficult to both recognize the potential religious overtones in the UFO narrative and to ascribe to it a lot of what is encoded in our mystical and religious traditions. So, what do you make of this, dear viewers? Do you yourself think or have experienced the hive mind of beings like the Grey Aliens? And do you think that the UFO surreality goes as far as to shaping us in ways we often ascribe to the supernatural, to the mystical and mythical? Let me know in the comment section down below. We are almost done with year 2016 in this series, and I hope that in the next episode we are going to start exploring year 2017 and eventually beyond that, which is the actual golden period for the odd, strange and mysterious articles the site has posted, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate a lot if you could like, subscribe and share the content so we can all enjoy the mysteries of the otherworldly. Take care.